Jan, we'll start with you first. Tell us about the Belle Point Club and what you all do, and maybe who some of your members, where you get your membership.
Okay, well, what I know, it's called Belle Point Quilters Guild. It started in 1984 with a very small group of women, and it has grown now to a group of almost 200 quilters. And we do have monthly meetings every fourth Monday of the month, 6:30 at the Fort Smith Senior Center. And everyone's invited. We always have great speakers. We have show and tell. There are always lots of informational things going on at the meeting. The part of the Guild's projects are called cozy quilts. People make quilts. We send them out to various organizations for either children or the firemen, various organizations and that's been going on for years and years. So hundreds of quilts have been made and handed out in that type of situation. We support the clearinghouse. We always do a food drive for the clearinghouse, and a lot of our members are very active with that organization. And so those are some of the community things. We welcome people. We get a lot of them that come through the quilt show and want to join, didn't know anything about it. So that's always fun. And I'm trying to think how else we get our membership is word of mouth. It's just a fun group.
Do you have to know how to quilt in order to become a member?
No, you do not. Our mission statement says anyone who appreciates the art of quilting, and it is truly an art. Quilts can be, we have such a variety of quilters, and their skills and talents are beautiful and varied, and that's what we hope to showcase at the show, that it's everything, and everyone's welcome.
Jan, Connie, you're shaking your head. So you must get a lot of people that are beginners at this.
Yes, that's what's so neat, really, about the club of the organization is you can be as beginner gets, maybe just have a brand new sewing machine and start in. And this group of mostly women, but we do have some men in our membership, and they're always willing to help. We have the monthly speakers like Jan mentioned, and we bring in people sometimes from all over, not just here in Arkansas, but professionals who are just great, amazing at their craft. And so we are learning all the time. It's a wonderful group of educational opportunities. That's how I see it. So we have the very basic starter, people who want to learn to quilt, and people who've done it for 30, 40, 50 years, learned from their grandmother.
Exactly. So Jan, you could be 10, 12, 15, 20 years old and still want to do this.
Oh, any age. We have children. I mean, we 8 years old who learn how to sew, and we show their quilts. They come to the meetings, and on up to however old, we take them all. Some, like Connie said, some of them have learned to quilt at their grandmother's knee. So.
Connie, Jan mentioned the quilt show, September 30th, October 1st. Tell us a little bit about the show. What will people see and find, and what will be there at the Fort Smith Convention Center?
We will have almost 200 quilts, some very small wall quilts that are just kind of for decoration, and people made them because they loved the colors, the pattern, the idea, up to king size bed quilts. So there will be a ton, I say a ton, about 200 quilts. And some people in our group decided to do this round robin. And so they started just a small beginning of the quilt, like a centered item with some fabric and different colors and things, and finished what they wanted to finish. Then our group sent it off to a group in Australia, and some of those members added borders. So we're going to have, I don't know, Jan, do you know how many quilts will be there representing that?
I don't know. It's a special display of at least 12 to 15, I think, quilts.
So that's like a teamwork thing. You're getting in a very spread out teamwork event.
Right. Right. And so people will see those, they will see a huge variety of, I guess you would call mediums or art forms in the way of fabric. You might see applique, which is fabric sewn onto fabric and made into designs. You might see landscape picture prints type thing made out of fabric, all kinds of blocks, old fashioned as well as very modern, made out of, you know, very earthy tone fabrics or very happy, fun baby fabrics, baby quilts. There will be all kinds. And like Jan said earlier, it's really, we see it as a very much of an art show that's just appealing to many, many people.
Y'all take this serious.
Yes,
we do. I think I've been in the guild about 8 years. And Jan, how long have you been in?
Oh gosh, longer than that, maybe 15 years or so.
Yes.
But we have some members who have been in since 1984.
You know, I say y'all take it serious, but it is really a fun, artistic way to show a lot of creativity. And Connie, you can talk about that for a second.
Okay, that's one thing I love about quilting is I enjoy just the artistic creativity of it. You might look at a pattern, which I a lot of times use patterns, but I look at it and I think, how would I do that just a little differently? And so I would put my own twist into that. Jan and I both have what are called long arm machines. And so we love to do the final stitching that puts the whole fabric bundle together. And in that art form, you can do so many different things. So I enjoy being creative in that aspect. And so everybody has their own kind of little bent or little aspect of quilting that they enjoy. It may be the putting together, the sewing the pieces. They may like that only. And they may not want to do the quilting that puts it all together. Some people still hand quilt, but many people do machine quilting now.
You know, Jan, when I think of a quilt, I think of a, you know, standard bed size quilt, but really it is anything you want it to be.
That's right. And as you can see, I have one hanging on my wall. A lot of my quilts are made to hang on the walls. Some people make even smaller ones, some baby quilts, obviously, and bed quilts still very popular. So whatever size, whatever color, the variety is endless.
Wow. And I know it takes a while to make one, but it's almost therapeutic in trying to, in putting these together.
Yeah,
it is.
Absolutely.
It is. For some people, it's very frustrating because they're perfectionist and they want to get all their points and all their seams and everything just perfect. But what I love about it is the creativity and how different you can do one pattern compared to how somebody else might interpret it with the colors. My sisters and I were putting 3 quilts. We've each made one, and it's one particular pattern, but all 3 of them will look very, very different because of how we've picked the fabrics we like. So.
All right. Well, it's the Belle Point Quilters Guild annual show, Friday, September 30th, October 1st, Fort Smith Convention Center. What time of day are we going to be doing this on both of those days?
On Friday the 30th, it is 9 to 5. And Saturday, October 1st, it is 9 to 3.
And anybody is welcome to come out.
Absolutely.
Everybody, yes. And we will have vendors who will be quilt shops and various vendors selling wares. If you want to get started, that's the place. If you want to add to your fabric stash, that's the place to do it.
All right. Ladies, thank you so much for being with us. This sounds like, and have a great time with those 2 days.
You're welcome.